I have sort of designed a scheme for people to age gracefully and be happy. But we should really talk to a physio. What sort of injuries happen to people as they age?
They tear their meniscus, evidently. You're more prone to do that.
Down and up. Or tear your meniscus. There you go. Well, this is
grandma's elbow.
Oh, yeah.
Grandma's elbow.
Instead of tennis elbow, it's apparently
grandma's elbow. So what?
Why are you from carrying around little babies?
Oh yeah, baby carrier's elbow. It's not just grandma's.
They call it mother's elbow too.
Yeah, that's your brachioradialis. It's your baby carrier. You got a baby in your arm, you get brachioradialis, and well, you can massage that. You just get a tennis ball and do that.
Oh really? Well, actually, I've done it for a while in my left arm, because I figured I often pick them up with my left arm, and then I'm doing things with my right hand, and I'm carrying.
Ah. Oh, well, of course, the other thing is to have some sort of a baby sling and talk to people that have baby slings. Yeah, and you might find there's one on Trade Me. They'll put it on your front, put the baby on your front.
Oh, these babies are a bit big.
Oh, they're a bit big.
These are toddlers actually now, that's the trouble, they're toddlers.
Oh, I'll have to put them down.
They come up to you and say, "Hi," so you can get them.
Oh, yes, I see, yes, down. So we get the full range of stretch and strengthen. This is mobilization. It's a moderate load such that we can get a full range of movement. Stretching, just think stretching. Yeah, that's stretching, all right. And up. And you sorry?
I was going to say, some people get diagnosed with arthritis.
Yes, indeed, people get diagnosed with arthritis. I guess then, you get diagnosed with an itis, it's, oh, look, there's the picture on the x-ray of the damaged part. But it focuses you in when you need to come back and say, well, perhaps I've got a movement itis, I've got a bad movement pattern. Or perhaps I've got an awareness itis. I just haven't got the awareness of how to move right. Or perhaps I've got an imbalance of muscle-itis. You see how you can focus your attention somewhere else and solve the problem? Well, so we've got the baby carrier's elbow, and we've got knee damage type things to think about. Well, let's see what happens in the workout and think about those. Heel off the ground.
Has that completely changed what you plan to do for the morning?
Well, has it changed what I plan to do for the morning? Well, I love sharing ideas, and it just lights my light bulbs to think, well, we might have something really helpful and to talk about and to help me. So I'm just touching down. I'll make a point of 5 balls of toes. So we just do the points of the compass here. So over to the east, all 5 balls of toes. By the way, these balls of toes on the support leg are squeezing in as well. Northeast, north, northwest. You get the idea. Point to the compass anyway. So I quite like thinking of which point of the compass that is. Do you? Around we go. So going around the compass point, we could just change sides, makes me think of nautical stories and ahoy me hearties. And so, okay, heel off the ground and just 5 balls of toes landing. And you've got to work out how to position your body to get 5 balls of toes landing. The support foot, the one with the most weight, you get those balls of toes squeezing and pressing in, narrow your foot. All right, northwest, wherever you are, northeast. If you like doing orienteering, you probably like thinking of this. If you like, the image could be, if we refocused, it could be learning a dance routine, or it could be doing the athlete's excursion test, or physiotherapy excursion test for balance and strength and coordination. I'd like to keep going. Well, this is what they do for an excursion test. They get you to see how far you can put your foot out. You could have a little try with that if you like. Just how far, just place. And they've got a special chart that they put down. So how far out could you go? Excursion. Well, it tells you how strong and coordinated you are, and it's particularly for high-level sports and rugby or tennis, or it tells them that, oh, well, you're now recovered, you've got back your full strength, and it's symmetrical. We're pretty good here. We look like we've got a ballet class being warming up here at the moment. Well, so yes, it's a sort of a physio and sports conditioning thing that the athlete can be told, well, you're now symmetrical, your damaged meniscus has healed or whatever. So it's useful that way. Wall sit. So for knee arthritis, well, nothing beats strength. In general, arthritis, nothing beats strength around the joint. So the toes are up as well. If we get the quads built up, sink down a bit and make it work for you, and the toes are up, and if we were to just feel where the shin muscles are really working here, and they're really important for, if you've got strong shin muscles and you're walking, every time you land your heel in front of you, you've got a softening of the foot landing. And it takes the jarring out of the knee. How would it go? Just toes up and wide. Make these toes work. But yes, number one thing, no movement in the joint, so you can't hurt it. Number two, quad strength, so it's looking after the joint. Curl your toes. Curl your foot. Did your toe touch your heel? Somebody said they needed something for their knees. So we did a bit more of that. The quads are strong now. They will be. We tear them down, we build them up. So, let's see. If we're doing... This is a split squat. It's a squat. It's up and down. It's not a lunge. It's up and down. You're keeping some weight towards the back. And there's lots of things happening in that back leg. The joints, the toe joints, the ankle joints, the calf muscles, the Achilles tendon. And if it's all right for your knee cartilage, well, great. Just keep doing it. We're building up all sorts of strength. And if it's not, well, you might come halfway down and just hold, and you're developing strength with no movement, which is safer for a sore joint. I'm going to come down and just... So just to make this easy for you, imagine you're a farmer leaning on the fence talking about the weather and the price of hoggets and two-tooths and whatever else. You know, what else are farmers talking? A bit of technical talk here, hoggets, you know. And okay. I'm going to switch over. So just the top end of the movement, we've got low load, and this is mobilization, and it's got toes and stretches for calves and soles of feet and so on. That's got a nice stretch for the front of the hip. So that's a mobilization with moderate load at the top end. If we go down, oh, now there's more load, there's more strength. And if it's no movement, it's not going to hurt a joint. But if we're able to go nice and smooth up and down like a yo-yo. So really speaking, yeah, if we were to do this in a mirror, and I'm just looking around and there's one or two examples, if you watch this back knee, you could have something like this happening. So the hips dropping and the knees coming over. So really, yeah, like this. So we try to keep everything vertical like a pillar in a Greek temple. So everything's aligned. And we look in the mirror and we can see that knee's tracking. It's not sort of the belt line tilting. So if the belt line's not tilting, everything's lined up, well, the knee's like a hinge on a one-hinge gate. It's not getting all sorts of, you know, horrible twisty twists on it. That's the twist that you want to avoid for knee cartilages. So, but if you just see yourself in a single leg squat, and if you know you're getting this sort of a knee collapsing in, well, that's really going to knock a knee cartilage around. So you want to know that you're doing this in good form. That's what I'm coming at. And this is where the chair back will really help you. You can look in the mirror. You can look in the mirror and not pointing fingers. Just okay. Now, we want to avoid knock-knee squats. If you've got half your knee, you could just try a little bit and say, well, we don't want to go skiing. or if we do, we just want the strength, but we want to know that the knees are going to be forced to go over the middle of the foot. Here we go. It's rather hard to go into knock-knee mode, and twisty twists are going to hurt your knee. So again, to think of, just pause, not too low, and then we've got the no movement strength work, become a bit lower, and you can just, again, farmer leaning on the fence. Just, now, you can't lean on the fence and be a farmer right here, but you could put your cell phone on speaker mode and talk to your neighbour, couldn't you? And before you know it, farmers being farmers, you've done half an hour of isometric contraction. Or maybe you're talking to a daughter or a niece about their wonderful new child, and you're sitting there for, see, and you got the work done, and you didn't have to worry. This is good. This is also isometric around the buns as well. So that's isometric, and it will make a difference. But if we can move it slowly and enjoy that feel of smoothness. And now we're forced to have rather nice movement patterns here, and I'll just have a look around and enjoy this beautiful movement. How do we know what nice movement is? Well, I think we do know. I mean, you watch ballet, and once you get used to it, you know it's nice movement. Or somebody scoring a try and sprinting up a track. It's beautiful, coordinated, smooth movement. And here we go, smooth, beautiful. Yeah, nice, very nice. And, you know, I'm looking around. I don't have to cue it much. It's just nice things are happening. All the strength and coordination going in the right places. Reverse chair squat. Just by way of hamming it up a bit. Now, if a knee doesn't like it, well, you don't do it. But now you have to think about using some handwork to help you a bit. Can you see how this could be a really good thing in a junior ballet class, couldn't it? Just to get, and could we do our whatever they do? You know, just staying really aligned, even though one leg's not right. And by the way, wouldn't that look nice for in the ballet school when they want to show off the parents at the Christmas ballet performance? Wouldn't this be a nice thing to do? The beauty is that the props guide you pretty much. All I'm saying is they'll just come up straight. You're not veering one side or the other. Just there you go. You get Swan Lake or Dance of the whatevers, and you've got some beautiful movement that's happening just like that. You'd have your hands doing whatever. Can your sit bones land equal? I can on one side, but not the other. How about you? Beautiful. I should run more ballet classes. This is looking so nice. Tall kneeling. Now you can lie on your side for quad stretches. Tall kneeling, quad stretch. Hug the heel to the hindy. Send bent elbows back for a stretch across the front of the collarbones. There's two types of stretches, and there's the in-betweens, but at one end there's the high intensity that you try to grit your teeth and hold as long as you can. You can't do a lot of that in a week unless you're an absolutely do-or-die high-level performer or athlete. And then there's the lower level, calm, relaxed version that you can, I'm just going the other one. Heel to hindy, bent elbows backwards, and feel the stretch in front of the shoulders. That instruction works if you're sidelined too. overall, if you're really looking at getting more flexibility, you have to put the time in, and you have to trick yourself into putting that time in. If you really wanted new flexibility and push the boundaries, you might be thinking of 1 to 4 hours of stretching in a week. Now, if you can listen to whatever you need to listen to in the news or watch a movie or something and do your stretches, well, you can. You could do 1 to 4 hours of stretching. Rolling Sir Galahad, I just going to use that as a bit of a prop. Right. There's the back of the movement, and there's the front of the movement, and there's a smooth move in between. Now, speaking to the back, I want this ankle in front of the knee so that when you're back, you can press your front of your foot into the ground, like the toes are clawing in, the balls of toes are narrowing and squeezing in. You're getting a workout out here. And in fact, that's the bit that I really like to emphasize. You get your ankle well forward, whatever it can manage. Well, when we're forward, I'll come around. When we're forward, that pubic bone sinks down. You've got this big long stretch, and the manubrium bone top there lifts you just looking upwards. So back we go. Get the front of the foot down, and your foot arch lifted, and your foot shortened. It's getting back its useful strength. And then forward, well, the foot will actually collapse down. So we're mobilizing the foot. Pubic bone down, breastbone. Yeah, foot, manubrium lift, foot, manubrium lift. And we could put in an arm action there, whatever that might look like. So when you're down, you've got activation in that forefoot. When you're back. And when you're forward, with manubrium lift, you've got activation around your shoulder blades pulling together. Or maybe it's the upper ribs knitting together, but that's a side effect of your manubrium lift. I like to just watch how we're doing. Getting this glorious strength and coordination back into your foot. Or maybe it's never been there. But yes, it's going to do wonderful things for you. And you're getting your flexibility back into all around your breastbone. We'll switch sides. So there we go. The foot's in front of the ankle. And when we're back, push the front of the foot down. This foot's different. It's harder to do. The big toe won't press down. What about you? Is it different? And so forth. And the pubic bone sinks down, and the manubrium bone lifts, and the shoulder blades are beginning to pull together a little. Foot. Yeah, and manubrium bone. And then if we're happy with that, we can down. Foot. I've really got to think about my foot, or it just won't activate. How are we doing? And so with this foot and ankle, we're putting back the strong springs and shock absorbers in the system, and that's going to take some of the jarring off of a knee cartilage, and every little bit helps. Rocking back. It's many things, but it's a mobilization for your sore knees. You go back and test the boundary of what's comfortable, and that's where you go to, and you just slowly move into that. By the way, you're also stretching all the tissues above and around your kneecap. So what have we got that this knee will give us? And over time, if you get strong, you can go into dog sitting. I've got pushing on my fists here. You can just load the knee up a bit. Well, it's not so much loading it. What we're looking at is the knee is being levered apart. That's joint distraction. Two sides of the joint being pulled apart. And that's actually good in most situations. That's a very good thing to do for a joint. And it's not squeezing the knee cartilages, or it shouldn't be. And if you've just got your bent fist and you're pushing into your fist, you don't have to put a lot of load on. But if it feels all right, well, we can test the boundary of load. Can we just take all the load on it? There we go. That's really stretching out the front. I'm just feeling for the muscles here on the inside of the knee, and they're pretty symmetrical. But if I had a bad knee cartilage and I felt the muscle was bunching up and tightening up, I could massage it now. Ooh, right. Massage out the knots and tight bands, and that would take the pain out of the knee, and it would improve their coordination, so you're less likely to damage it. All right, so we're bringing the forward and back now. Press the heels together and show us a nice, smooth push-up. Now, I'm going to recommend that we actually put our forehead on the ground. The hips will be higher. The knees are getting just a nice mobilization. Press their heels together. Can you get the whole of your front touching the ground? Or okay. And then this is like an Islamic in prayer. And all due respect to them, they're doing some wonderful movements and mobilizations 5 times a day. Got to be good for you. Yeah, and that forehead on the ground, there's some really nice lengthening of the thick, dense sheets of connective tissue around your mid and lower back and around your hip pockets. So it's good. Press the heels. So that is the all fours. Yeah. Now it's a moderate level push-up. I really like demonstrating this, by the way. I think it's something that everybody can do, and we should do it into our 90s. Don't have to maybe do push-ups. And we'll head into pump 100. Right, press your back into the mat, your tailbone lifts. Press on the knee and pump. So I'm doing 15 seconds. For the last 5 seconds, I'll cue for pushing hard on the knee and curling your tailbone up. Here we go. Tailbone up. Press on the knee. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch over. 15 seconds. Now, just checking in. You've curled your tailbone up, and the small of the back's pressing in the mat, and you're pressing gently, not too hard on that knee. For the last 5 seconds, here it comes. Press on the knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands behind the head, elbows down. So we've done 1 set. Now, ideally, we'd do 2 or 3 sets. Now, you can dial in that 5 seconds as hard or soft as you like. It will just come on up. Let's take a knee up in the opposite hand, across the body to the knee. So we're pressing the tailbones up, pumping. I'm just working a moderate level there. 15 seconds. And now, if you were to stop and poke your tummy, it's really working. I'll tell you something about that when we're finished. Push, 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 push. Okay, let aside. We go straight into it. Tailbone's curled up, and that's automatically got the load on. And I'll give you the 5 seconds. If you want to push harder, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. Here we go. Push on the knee. Curl the tailbone up. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's just go into the stretch of the sit-up in bed roll-up. We've got to grab a wrist and pull your wrist off. Can you get your elbows down and at the same time relax your neck and throat? Enjoy the stretch. Just let it relax around your legs if you can. And do your best to relax around your neck and throat. Okay. We'll just try the other wrist. Just see if you can get your elbows down. Like some of us are up about quite high, and some. But you're valuing this special pull the wrist off. And can you get maybe just as you're pressing your elbows down, gently rock your head side to side, just in an experimental wise to try and get the neck and throat to relax. Cueing for the sit-up in bed bit, hand behind the knee, bring your head up, point your toes. Now this is the little moment where we take it slow and the body works out. Push up a little higher. Does the leg do it? Does the body do it? Does the body curl a bit more? push up a little more. The body works out how to balance it out. This is so relaxing. Nice. Stretch, smile, stretch the other side. You know, I could spend a whole half hour just on this exercise. There's so many nice bits in it. And with slightly bent elbows, come up and over like a wave breaking and dive into your toes. What would it be like if the whole of our bodies could sort of collapse and shrivel up and move up and dive into our toes? We disappear into our toes. So the chest lifting and the back of the neck, more or less, between the shoulder blades lifts a little. And your head's between your knees. So here's another stretch with a nice lifted chest and back of neck. All right, so I'm just going to say it fairly military style now. Roll down smoothly. Wrists, elbows down, neck relaxed. And then other wrist, pull it off, elbows down. Breathe and neck relaxed. Hands to a knee, point your toe. And just come to that, value that sticking point. Just work out how to relax and melt around your front. Up we come. You can look up with your eyes under your eyebrows. That's a good place. Bent elbows, dive into your toes. Head between knees. And that spot, that spine between your shoulder blades can lift. That's nice. Rolling down. All right, here we go. Picking it up now. Press the elbows down on the other side now. Press the elbows down. Hands behind knee. Pointy toe. Stretch the front of your foot. Yeah. Stretching, looking up. Stretching, looking up. Diving. Maybe your shoulder blades go a little wider so the spine can lift up between the shoulder blades. Here we go. Wrist and stretch. Other wrist and stretch. Hands to knee. Pointy toes. Stretching front of the foot. Nice, relaxed, looking up. And your bushy or pencil eyebrows, whichever they are. Dive. Stay down now for the single leg circles with hand for guidance. There's a 2-second count, a 2-second wait here. And you can feel the load. Right, across the body, down and around and touch. Across the body, down and around and touch. There we go. And so, well, I should say, okay, 1, 2, touching the hand, round and pause, 1, 2, touching the hand. We can change direction now. You wouldn't change direction. 1, 2, round we go. 1, 2, round we go. I like to have one hand behind the head. Could be down, but it's nice to watch what's happening. And bend the knee. And here's this little mobilization. It's sending the blood in and out of the knee cartilage, like squeezing out a sponge and then sucking the fluid back in. Now, if the knee feels all right for that, that's a very, very good thing to do to get the blood back into the periphery, into the boundary of the knee cartilage. It's got good blood supply in the boundary of the knee cartilage. And it's also pumping the fluids around in the joints and getting the nutrients into the knee cartilage and pushing some of the inflammatory chemicals out. So there you go, lovely thing. You can also do this seated on a table with ankle weights. Let's go the other leg. And there we go. This is the strength bit that nobody likes. 1, 2, round we go. Touch. 1, 2, round we go. And touch. 1, 2, round we go. And touch. 1, 2, round we go. And one more. And change direction. Yep, oops, 1, 2, round we go. Like 1, 2, you know the atomi's working, round we go. And, yeah, and round we go. And then we know what to do, just, so if it's your bad knee, you can compare with the good side. And over time, you might look for and hope that, oh, this knee bounce is feeling a bit more comfortable now. It means the bounce is working, it's getting it's like a sponge, it's sucking up the fluids and nutrients, pumping out the damaging metalloprotease, whatever it is, that's destroying the knee cartilage, all the bad chemicals, the not so good chemicals. I love knee bounces. I just like to have a breath and let my face and my front of my chest relax. It's like lying back on the beach in Hawaii. Rolling like a ball. Now the start position is good. The philosophy of rolling like a ball is you hug your shins in. Did you feel, if you hug your shins in, do you feel your chest lifting and the back of the neck lifting? So it's a lengthening cue, it's a postural cue. Just hug your shins in, you feel your chest lifting. And so we do our best to keep our eyes on our belly. Hug the shins in. That's really the goal in the exercise. If you can hug your shins in. It's very rare for anybody to come up and say, oh, that hurt my back. There is a proviso with, shall we say, slightly overweight retired ladies, and there's a little bit of risk of osteoporosis, microfractures. They get this little bit of pain around the lower ribs. So otherwise, fine, we're fine. But by the way, over time, these older ladies, it's amazing, after 3 months of doing the Pilates, and they've remineralized that area. If you want to fix osteoporosis, do lots of careful exercise like Pilates and yoga, gentle weight training, get the doctor's advice, eat lots of collagen and greens, and prunes. Because the anthocyanins in dried plums is very good for osteoporosis. Did you know that? That's amazing, isn't it? Let's head into prunes for osteoporosis. There's research on this. You're like a cat. Scratch with your hand and your foot. Curl your toes. Form a fist. I think you can, and on the way up, we'll curl your toes up to touch your kneecap. And is the knee finding this is all right? This is a nice mobilization for all the tight tissues around that painful, tensed up knee. Get the full range of movement into your foot and ankle. Beautiful. I love getting movement back into my feet and ankles. Let's switch over. So just think of a cat in a fight, and then you get the movement. Curl your toes, curl your fist. And on the way up, the toes and fingers are pointing backwards. Bad blood, toe pull. I'm just going to go to a hand behind the head. This is my default base workout. Yeah, I really get a good toe pull here. Can you straighten your knee, by the way? There's your hamstring stretch. So I'm just going to cue it like this. Grab the next toe down the line, maybe the second toe. Push the knee away, pull, pull, pull on the toe. Third toe, straighten your leg, pull on the toe. Fourth toe. How's the tummy working? We're switching over. Straighten the leg, pull on the toe. Really good pull and a jiggle. Like you really want to pull it off. Straighten the leg, pull the toe. Fix your claw toes, the hammer toes, and gap the toe joints so the chilblains are less fierce and they heal a little quicker. You know, people get chilblains. It takes 2 weeks after a really cold foot bout for them to settle down. Well, this will handle. It'll fix in about 5 days doing that. All right. Spine stretch. Chest forward. How far forward can you sit like a baby in nappies? They're amazing. They just sit like this, don't they? And they do whatever. They usually got their legs out about this wide. All right, let's have the legs a little bit wide, about mat width, and just see where that takes us. Manubrium lift. A chin on manubrium, and each vertebra rolls up and over the one underneath. Let the chest lift and the shoulders go wide. Roll up tall. Don't unfurl your neck and head. And chin on chest, and roll down through the vertebrae. Let the chest lift. Just it's the lengthening cue that keeps your lower back safe. Let the chest lift, even in the curve forward, and roll it back up. So let's bring the legs together and see what difference it makes. Chest forward, manubrium lift, chin on chest, where we go. I don't know about you, but that sort of feels easier that way. And I'm not exactly sure why. Can you tell me? I find it easier with legs together. You find it easier with apart? Oh, okay, cool. Nice. This is really interesting. Shall we try another? Just cross your shins and sit sort of ladylike, so there's enough room to put a fist in between your knees. And I just reach forward and the chest lifts. I find that's a really nice way. It emphasizes the stretch on the lower hamstring. You might feel that. And I'm just going to bring the hands back to the side and body and roll up tall and try and look like a bathing beauty. Yeah, that's like, guys, you're looking really good. And so, chin on chest. And the chest lifts. The back of the neck might lift and lengthen. Yeah, I could get into a little bit of gentle pulling on the toes. Try and massage out the chilblains. And then roll up on the other side. You just got there. And just see what you got. And this is a funny thing, and it's not meant to be an adversarial comment, but you know, the COVID virus does actually affect your peripheral circulation. You get COVID toes. I had one friend that's had it. And I have a feeling that I probably get my chilblains who come back bad after this last 4 years. Some of it's getting old, I think, but it is, you know, so anything that helps your circulation, and there's lots of things that help circulation, and I don't want to get too much of it. But yeah, just pulling your toes where it's got the circulation going. Right. Let's get into a long bridge. So you can have a little more bend of your knees if you like, but we're trying to make it a long bridge. I'm going to have it a medium bridge today. Hands stacked under your hips. And then just take your hands and stack them above like holding it, rocking a baby. And then hands underneath, under the small of the back, and hands on top. And after we've done 5 or so that way, if you need to take a break because you're getting a tingle in your back of your leg, well, or whatever, just take a break. I do get a slight tingle in one foot because of an old slight scarring in the right hip pocket area. It's not worrying me today. Excellent. So that was a long or medium bridge today, actually. Supposing we go into the standard short bridge with the heels fairly close to the spine, and at this point we can just let the hips lift, and we could do the same hand thing, underneath, on top, and underneath, and on top. And so the time under load is really valuable here. By the way, just think about squeezing your glute muscles together, like pinching on a credit card, and then maybe just let it relax and feel the difference, like a squeeze, or then the floppy glute muscles, let it be relaxed. And again, maybe just try the squeeze. And just by being aware of it and maybe just squeezing occasionally, you get to know that, well, you bring a little more conscious awareness into that muscle, but you're also rebalancing the hip joint. Okay, well, that's our bridging. You like it? Here's another sort of a side bridge. This is preparation for your sort of stars and that sort of thing, but just starting here. This is really good. I love demonstrating this. Because I do this, I can do that other thing. And like 10 years ago, not easy. I was Pilates instructing then, it wasn't easy. But just send your ribs down, lift them up, down. And so this is mobilization for the spine, the side movement. It's a moderate load. It's not a high load, it's a mobilization. Think about your spine lengthening, the chest, neck, and head lengthening away from the hips. So now we get into the stable middle range of movement, straight spine, perpendicular to the belt line, up we come. Press with the bent elbow. Did you notice press with the bent elbow, you feel like it gets you bracing and lengthening through your whole body? All right, we'll come down. and keeping your belt line and your spine vertical, perpendicular. Just brace a little, come on over like Mr. Wobbly Man. Ribs sink down, ribs lift. You can make like an ocean wave with your like belly dancing on your side, if you like. All right, perpendicular. Nice straight side to side, so up we come, just holding there. Press with a bent elbow and feel how that you're comfortable and you're braced and you're lengthening. Just press with a bent elbow. And I'm going to move fairly quickly now. And this is the base position, and I'll add something in. Be like Mr. Wobbly Man coming up to vertical. Over we go. Hip, leg, arm, up we come. Press with the elbow and lengthen. Great. And smoothly down, and then over we go. And see, are you working at the spine perpendicular to the belt line as you go over one to the other? Hip, arm, leg, up we come. Press with the elbow. You could just choose the base one with the leg down. Press with the elbow. Now we lower smoothly, spine straight, perpendicular to belt line. And keep that spine straight and perpendicular to belt line over time. So this time, keep the feet together, but the knees will come apart. So up we go. Press the heels together, press the elbow down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Belt line, spine, perpendicular, perpendicular. Now, what was it? Oh, yes, right, there we go. Press with the elbow. And you could just sink down on your elbow and everything sort of collapses inwards, but you press with the elbow and everything widens and lengthens and you've got a beautiful posture. I don't know why you'd want a beautiful posture here, but never mind. We can stay down with the head on the biceps pillow. And we've got a nice little hands in prayer sort of thing there. So let's get the foot moving. See, this is going to be getting control and coordination in your shin muscles, in your ankle muscles. This is going to get more stability and smoother walking, so less jarring on your knee. So the foot looks up to go up, and it looks down to go down. And let's just make that. Yeah, I'll just sort of see if we can keep hands in prayer over the head. Look down, look up, look down, look up, look down. You can really get going. Right, 2 minutes left. I'm just off for a cup of coffee. Just keep going there. I think it's probably quite a good stopwatch one, isn't it? And we'll get another 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Okay. And did we feel the burn? Please say yes, because I feel it. All right. So that's the base sideline movement. I'm just going to put a hand under my head now, and this hand can look up to come up. Put it by your side, and it can look up to come over again. So the palm is always looking where the palm is always looking where it's going. And does that lengthen out your arm? All right, so let's try the back of the hand looking where we're going. Yeah, there's a good stretch there. And then the back of the palm. You should say the palm is looking in the rear vision mirror. Palm looks back. And now this is actually, with this palm looking away from the direction, we're beginning to twist the upper arm bone into impingement zone. But if it's not hurting, it's actually a good stretch. If it is hurting, well, don't push to the limit. Avoid the pinchy, pursing bit. And that's actually got a lot of rotator cuff and surrounding muscles all sorting out. Those rotator cuff, that's the cuff muscles around your shoulder. That was pretty good. I'd like for us to get, there's like book openings with the bent knees here. If the arm, well, as you open the book, the shoulder blade lands and then the elbow. Now, you can permit this bent knee to lift wherever it's comfortable. And then keeping the spine, just keep lengthening through your body. Just close the book. On the opening, it's a bit different. Shoulder blade down, then the elbow, and then the back of your hand might land. and your knee's allowed to lift off the other one, whatever's comfortable, and then everything closes at once. But you roll back, shoulder blade, elbow, arm, and then everything closes at once. Unfurl like a Livingston daisy, close like a Venus flytrap. Yeah, let's try the other side of that. Up like Mr. Wobbly Man, over the other. That's the up and down kick with the biceps pillow. So just toes look up, toes look down, toes look up, toes look down. Get the ankle and foot working. I find I can speed it up because the foot and ankle is actually controlling the movement. When you think about it, when it hits the ground, it's giving a neural impulse that is actually controlling the walking movement. All right, 5 and down and 4 and down, just about there. And then we can work the arm now. So palm up and so the palm's facing the way we're going, and palm up and over we go. And palm up and over we go. Feel like synchronized swimming and how we go. There's a beautiful little nuances of shoulder stretches happening there. Shoulder impingement, a very respectable publishing physio, Chris Malick, has said, well, if we live to 150, we'd all get shoulder impingement. I think we could correct that and say if we were really knowledgeable about how to maintain our shoulders, we might avoid it. Okay, so just have a look. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you see some nice little variations on a theme here. I think I was doing it quite stiff wrists, and some of us have just been quite relaxed in the wrist. And I don't mind. I haven't really thought out which is the nicest. I think you might have a nicer version. So we'll change. So now the back of the hand leads the movement. I find this doesn't feel quite so nice, but if it's not hurting, it's just it's sort of a pleasant tiredness. It's probably good. So if you were getting a bit of the beauty is that gravity is working just the right moments to give you a stretch rather than a tendon scrunching pinch. So gravity's working quite a nice way. And get a lovely stretch there. The book openings, we'll bend the knees up in front of your chest. We'll bring the hands out in front. There's your book. We'll open the book. Shoulder back, elbow back. Now the knees will open. And then close the book. I feel like this is a really nice add-on to that up and over arm movement we just did. Let's put my chair out the way. So just book openings. I like to you guys can communicate with me and tell me, did I make sense with that? And the movement is sort of happening like I said. Thanks, guys. And it's a nice unfurling. And then the closing shut again. In practicing opening up your head and your chest and your persona. Your persona is that part of you show at the world. Young folks who know about that, that's how you make yourself look on Facebook. Your persona, that's the bit you present there, even though it's probably not the real you. But actually, persona is a good concept. Open up your chest and smile with your eyes, and you're there. You've got a nice persona. Yep, we're getting onto our front now. Without lifting too high with your legs and knees and head, just lift a little bit. But let the arms do a bit of the work. Or grab a thumb and push up. Don't lift too high with your head and your knees. It's what we're really valuing the time under load for the back muscles and back of the leg muscles. We take the arms out the side, point the fingers up. Don't lift too high. Okay, so you could look to your right and look at your fingernails on your right hand, lift your right hand. Or you could look to the left and lift the left hand. Don't lift too high. Take two hands behind, like Superman. Touch your heels together, your knees just off the ground. And see if you can grab a thumb in front, pull it off. Don't lift too high. Stay long in your body. And your glute muscles firing up. They should be. Grab a thumb behind. Press the hands up, just the hands up. And we come on up. Just prop on the elbows. Did you survive? Good. That will, and so it's, if you're feeling like that knocked us around a bit or whatever, that sustained hold does push your blood pressure up. And so if it's a bit overdoing it, and you'll feel you'll feel the pumping and pulsing, whatever, will just drop out and come back up. On the other hand, just holding there and the blood pressure challenge in that, it has the benefit that in the long term, your blood pressure will tend to be lower. But you work your level. If you know there's a blood pressure problem, I should have said that before, just go up and come down, just don't stay there too long. By the way, the wall sits have a blood pressure effect that if you do enough in a week, we're talking about 2 minutes a day, twice a day, all week, it'll drop your blood pressure about 7 points. Static hold, wall sit, will drop your blood pressure, but you've got to do the time. And by the way, that's a safer way of doing it. Any no movement hold, like what we just did, will lower your blood pressure. But this one is, I can feel like that's, probably need to come down and come up a bit and keep going into it. Right, propped on the elbows, Sphinx stretch. Now, you can stretch your tummy, and here's how we might do it. If you're feeling comfortable and your spine's happy, let your tummy sink down like a beer belly. Now, as you breathe in, send your shoulders and ribs to the wall in front. Just breathing in. Feel like I'm a kid smelling the roses. And then just breathe out and let the chest and tummy sink down. Breathing in, and without overdoing it, breathing in, shoulders, ribs forward. And don't overbreathe. And you might do a 50%, not too much, but just shoulders and ribs up to forward, breathing in. And relax the neck. There's an infinite variation on how we can breathe in any body position. And I'm just going to let the hips, that you can just, for a moment, brace with your tummy, lift your body and back into child's pose. I think we need it. So I've got the sort of the frog version with hands under my head. Frog version, bent elbows close to bent knees. Just checking in how his knee cartilages feel. Maybe your hips have to be a bit higher. You can compare the good knee with the bad knee and just get aware of where it's at. Right. So, blue band stretch windscreen wiper. And I think you just know where taking that. With the legs wide, that's similar to single leg circles. But this time we're pulling the leg down and not just holding. And if you're vertical, you can make some circles and hamstring stretches. And you can make your foot move, like make your foot look left and right. And that really adds to just the whole total leg stretch. And just enjoy, just experiment with what your foot's doing. That's beautiful. There's little nerve flosses. Oh, that's so nice. Just foot and ankle, toes curling, hamstring stretching. Gym-style hamstring stretches. Boring. Put the foot movement in. Oh, yummy movement. Foot's really enjoying. Just like a baby doing its preparatory foot curls for walking. I'm just talking to leg over the body now. We can do a similar sort of hamstring stretch with the leg across and the hip rolled up. And a bit of, beautiful foot and ankle movement. And this sort of foot band on the foot is what they recommend for if you've got twisted ankles, you're healing them and whatever, and physios do recommend. But why not just put it in here now? Oh yeah, ankle circles. Oh yeah, I love it. Leg circles. Leg and ankle circles together. All right. Show me your variation. What do you like doing? We can switch over. Try what variations you get there. I'm going for leg wide to start with, and as you can appreciate, I'm just rabbiting on. And yeah, ankle circles there, yeah, could do. Bend the knee a little and ankle circles and toe circles. Oh yeah. So when I do a vertical leg and hamstring stretches, I just like to stir the pot with the whole leg, and why not put some ankle movement in as well? And toe movement. So now you go tramping or orienteering, you'll be just so flexible and coordinated. And now I'm just speaking to the leg across the body. Oh yeah, okay. Ankles, toes. And as I'm listening to the movement and the stretch, I'm relaxing around my neck and my front of my chest. And it's just like, you imagine a child lying back and just looking around the room, and they're so relaxed and happy because it's a family environment. They're just so happy and relaxed. Now, we omitted some of the stretches today, but that's just how it worked out. But I just go to a chair now. I'm going to sit in the chair and so your weightlifter guys, they can demonstrate the baby carrying muscle, like there it is there, it's there, the baby carrying muscle. You can see it tensing up, Brachioradialis. You can see it tensing up, that one there. Well, that's the one you massage. And you can massage like that. Yeah, probably with a thumb up, just like that. And just, anywhere around there, but you just imagine you're holding a baby in there, and what muscle is there, and that's tensed up. It's come up to the, lots of stuff. Yeah, so here I'm just pretending I'm holding, well, thumbs up maybe, but actually you imagine you're holding the baby, and that's, there you go. Muscles tense up, it comes up to you. That's probably the best way. Ooh. It's a sort of an athlete one, isn't it? I wonder how the weightlifters would deal with that. Just, I can hold a big baby under my arm. Okay. So I'll just give you a second on that. Yeah, so that's the baby carrying muscle. It's the brachioradialis. That's what it does. You put a baby in the crook of your arm, that's what that muscle does. And so if we've got a knee cartilage that's not too happy, we can brace with an elbow against the other knee and push on this, it's called a teardrop muscle, vast medial quad muscle. We can push on that. And often this muscle's tensing up and getting horrible knots and tight bands in it. So you're just there, just there. Ooh. Anywhere in that muscle, man. And if you're an older sister with cheeky younger brothers, they come in on you and they do the donkey bite. I think it's like, this is the donkey bite one. Yeah, okay. And it's surprising how that, sometimes I think, oh, my knee cartilage isn't that wonderful. Well, it isn't that wonderful on one knee. But if I massage that out, and that brings back the strength and coordination in the knee, and it takes the pain out of that knee cartilage area, and it will, to some degree, help any knee cartilage knee, just massaging that vast medial muscle there. We're very lucky to be able to keep moving. And